If IR value is not proper, then you have to go for improvement of IR value, and that will be improve the operation of the equipment. Secondly, what happen, you have to go for this particular type of maintenance in which you have to go for internal fault, if any, that the continuity of wires or continuity of any type of circuit, if it is broken, then you have to go for its performance by measurement of the continuity with the help of multimeter. So this is the things in which it is observed that internal fault, if there any in the equipment, then it will be given the proper exercise for finding out the fault and its rectification. So this is the internal faults which can be examined with the help of certain equipment or certain instrument. They are mainly Megger and series lamp and multimeter. So these are the three instruments normally used for checking the internal fault of the equipment. Now secondly, when we go for the further article in this particular type of instrument, then we will find that instrument accessories for troubleshooting. Now instrument accessories, that is one of the point which is related with the spare parts. So if by observation or testing, external or internal testing of the fault or any type of mistake in the equipment, then you list out the type of fault and what type of spare parts are required for the parts. They are coming under accessories, and these accessories you have to list out which is required for repair of the equipment. So accessories, mainly there are two types. One is the part of spare parts accessories which are required to repair the equipment, and second is the accessories which are helpful for the testing and inspection of the equipment. So both type of accessories you have to list out, and according to the requirement of that particular accessory you have to list out them, and then apply the your repair and maintenance schedule for that. So this is a simple topic in which the troubleshooting is mainly when a equipment give trouble in operation, and this is the inspection which is done externally or internally to find out the type of trouble. And troubleshooting means when you rectify this trouble, then it is called troubleshooting. So troubleshooting is the method by which we can find out the cause of fault, type of fault and its remedy. And for remedy, whatever material required or accessories required, that you have to find out in that, and according to those accessories and all these types of things required for repair, you list out them and purchase it from the market, and then rectify it by proper maintenance. Secondly, many times what happen, troubleshooting is given by the manual of the manufacturer. Many times with the equipment, a troubleshooting chart is given by the manual, in the manual of the manufacturer provided with the equipment. So in that case it become much easy that you have to find out what is the type of fault, what is the remedies of that fault, and what type of accessories required for the removal of that fault. So in troubleshooting chart there are 4 columns. Serial number 1 column is there, second is type of trouble in the equipment, this is the second particular column is there, and third column is remedy or fault finding of that particular troubleshooting, and then last column is there will be that accessories required or spare parts or other material required for repair of that particular point, that particular equipment. And last column is also given as a remark. If you have to specify something especially, then you can put in the remark column. So in troubleshooting chart, they are provided for normally all the equipment which are supplied by the big manufacturers or the branded manufacturers who are the supplier of the branded equipment. So they always give the troubleshooting chart with their equipment. Normally in our electrical engineering, we have drives, one type of equipment which is used in the industry, and second is the transformer. Apart from this, there are number of switchgear protection equipments are there. So they are also given or supplied by the manufacturer, and along with this there is a supply of the particular type of troubleshooting chart with them. So you read out the troubleshooting chart, and according to that you have to take the steps whatever you have to take or given in the troubleshooting chart. So all these steps you have to follow from 1 to 10 or 5 or 6, whatever type of troubleshooting points are given in the particular, and according to that what type of remedy is recommended by the manufacturer, then you have to provide those remedies. And for that, whatever type of other equipment or accessories required for repair of that particular troubleshooting point, so you can go for that. So here when normally if you go for induction motor or drives of any type, DC or AC motors, so you can prepare troubleshooting chart yourself. There are 4 column or 5 column I have given you: serial number, type of trouble, second column, third column remedies for the trouble, and fourth is the accessories and spare parts required for the repairs, and the last is the remark column. So you can put these columns in your notebook and find out by your own assumption, because you know whatever type of problems occur in a particular type of equipment, you can find out and list out according to your testing. So suppose if a motor is not working, so first point is that there will be problem of supply voltage. So you check the supply voltage from the main switch or MCB to the starter, and from starter to the terminal of the motor. This is the first step when motor is not running. So if supply is checked, then you will find that there will be no problem in supply. So come to the second point of the inspection, in which you have to go for the tightness of the terminals, or proper connection of terminals are there with the winding or not. So if they are also find okay, then there will be some problem internal in the motor. That internal problem may be that some winding is open inside the motor, and which is cannot be observed from the outside. So you open the motor and find out the continuity of each winding. Means if it is a 3-phase motor, so you check the 3-phase winding of the motor for its continuity. So if it is okay, then there will be no problem. Okay, so then motor will start running. And if there is a problem in the winding continuity, or some wire is broken or insulation is damaged, so in that case there may be a short circuit takes place between turns fault, that is called turns to turns, or the turns to the body of the motor. So you have to check this internally, and whenever you find this type of fault in this particular motor, then you can go for its rectification with the help of proper accessories and whatever type of equipment required for that. So this is in case of motor. We can have the general inspection, and these points are written in the chart, that is called troubleshooting chart. Similarly, if you go for a transformer, then you have to go for first the external inspection of the transformer, in which you take the oil level of the transformer. You can take the temperature of the winding, which is properly in range or not. Then you have to check the position of the bushings and oil level in the bushing, it is to be checked. Then IR value of the insulating oil, that is dielectric strength, you have to check. So this is these are the external type of inspection to be done for the transformer. And when there is a all things are okay externally, and even the transformer is not running properly, then you have to go for its internal inspection. Sometime what happen, humming noise is created by the transformer, which is of range of out of range. Out of range means whatever the normal recommendations are there. If the humming sound is more than that, it means that there will be some problem in the core of the transformer. So if the nut bolt of the core are loose, become loose, then humming sound will be excessive humming sound is obtained. So by opening the transformer from its replacement of the bushing from primary and secondary, and open the transformer tank from the top and check the core properly tighted or not. If you find that there is a problem in the core, so you, with the help of feeler gauge, you can measure that particular gap in the stampings of the transformer, and they should be properly tighted, so the humming noise of the transformer will become neutralized. Then if you go for the next test in sense of particular type of transformer in which there is a problem in the insulating oil, that is moisture content is there. So with the help of a conservator tank, there is a provided silica gel in the breather. So you just check the color of the silica gel. If it is turned from blue to pink, then you definitely decide that there will be moisture content in the transformer oil is there. It is increased with, beyond the limit. That's why the color of the silica gel become from blue to pink. So you have to immediately go for the filtration of the oil, and its heating of the oil, the proper by filtration plant you can filter the oil of the transformer. So this will be again reclaim the oil, and the problem which is there, it can be removed. So for every equipment, whenever you go for troubleshooting chart, so you prepare this 5 column in that chart in your notebook. Write the cause of the troubleshooting, or second is remedy for the troubleshooting, third is material or accessories or spare parts required for repair, and the last column is the remark. If you have to give any particular remark for that, then you can write those remarks. So here in this particular topic that we have done troubleshooting, I have given what is the meaning of troubleshooting. Whenever any equipment create trouble in its operation, then it is called trouble. And shooting means when we rectify this particular problem, then it is called troubleshooting. For troubleshooting, you have to go step by step. First, for you go for the external inspection or external findings for the equipment, and if external findings are okay, there is no problem, then you go for internal findings. Internal findings, if you find some problem, then you have to rectify. So first of all, for both type of findings, whether external or internal, if there is some problem, you have to write this problem in your troubleshooting chart, and what is the remedy for that, it can be obtained from the recommendation of the manual of the manufacturer of the equipment. So when you obtain this information from the manual, then naturally you can go ahead for a further step for repair. So troubleshooting is basically you have to remove the trouble of the equipment. which is created due to any type of internal or external fault in that, whether it is a minor fault or major fault. Both of the fault it is responsible for not working of the equipment. So you have to minutely measures, minutely observe both type of fault, whether it is minor or major fault. You have to check it with the help of checking accessories or the testing accessories. As I have told you, the testing accessories are multimeter, series lamp circuit, and Megger. These are the main equipment used. Similarly, for oil dielectric testing, there is a oil testing kit is there. So these are the things which are useful for the external or internal maintenance of the particular equipment is there. And mainly in case of switch gears, there will be a chamber in which the moving contact and fixed contacts, they are operated under fault condition. So many times if circuit breakers are not working, so you have to see the connection of the circuit breaker, see the connection of the current transformer and potential transformer which are in the circuit along with the breaker. So if you find any type of fault in that, then you have to remove that fault and breaker will operate. Sometimes the contacts of the breaker due to wear and tear, they become damaged. So if you find that the gap of the contact is not proper in the breaker, then you have to open the breaker and check the contacts. So contact tips are properly maintained with the help of the process given in the leaflet or the manual of the manufacturers. According to that you perform that. Sometime what happen, this type of maintenance cannot be done by the persons in which system the particular equipment is operating. So in that case you have to call the service engineer of the company of which the equipment is supplied by the company. The company have supplied the equipment, and if you are, it is not in your scope to repair it, then you call the particular person or the engineer of the company. He will come and he will repair that. So normally in case of switch gears, it is observed that the operation and maintenance schedule of the switch gear, it is maintained by the manufacturer engineers. So they call on the site and according to their own knowledge, because they have manufactured the product, so they know what type of problems will be there. So better it will be that you call the engineer of the supplying company which has supplied the equipment. So in this way, if you find that preparation of chart is there, so far is required, that is troubleshooting charts. He has given the last point in this topic. So troubleshooting chart you can prepare with the help of those 5 columns, and in which the notings is that type of equipment you first write at the top, that troubleshooting chart for transformer, and what are the troubles can occur, you list out on the first column, and then second, what are the remedies for that, you write down in the second column. Then for remedy, what type of material or spare parts or accessories required for repair, it is written in the third column. And in the fourth column you have to write whatever type of specific reference you have to given, if so you can write in the remark column. So in all these things of troubleshooting chart, it is observed that all the informations are given by writing the either at the time of inspection of the equipment when it is under breakdown conditions, or sometime troubleshooting chart is already provided by the manufacturer. So in that case you have to not bother about to prepare the chart. You just take from the literature provided by the company, and you will find that there is a troubleshooting chart is given with the equipment. So in that case you refer that troubleshooting chart and according to recommendations given in all the 4 columns, you have to go for its repair. So troubleshooting chart is a helpful literature for the case of repair and maintenance of the equipment. And in this particular topic, as it is the heading of the topic, the troubleshooting. So naturally, whenever normal performance of the equipment is disturbed, then we have to think for troubleshooting. Otherwise, if the equipment is running normally as per the specification or as per the design, then we need not to bother about troubleshooting. Troubleshooting is only required whenever equipment is not performing according to its design or its proper specification. If it is not operating, in that case you have to go for troubleshooting. So troubleshooting is a very simple topic in that sense. Only the literature for that it is obtained from the different books or the literature which is given by the manufacturer of the equipment. So you can get already ready-made form of the troubleshooting chart from this. So otherwise also, if you have the basic knowledge of the machineries, that is you have done in the course of electrical machine, transformer, DC motor, synchronous motor, induction motors, and compound motors, series motors, and type of transformers, then type of switch gears you have studied in PSOP. So you have the basic knowledge of all these equipments. Okay. So if you know the construction and working principle of all these equipment, then you can yourself prepare the troubleshooting chart. What is the probable reason of troubleshooting is there, you write down it, and then what are the remedies for that, and then for the third point, it is what are the accessories or spare parts required for repair. So if you have the basic knowledge of all the equipments which of which you have to prepare the troubleshooting chart, then you can easily can do this. Now at the final year level, it is not necessary that I should give you the troubleshooting chart of every equipment. There are so many equipments are there in the system. So it is not possible to provide a troubleshooting chart of every item. Because these charts are available with the manufacturer manual. So this is not available in the any course or syllabus or any textbook content. So problem is that if troubleshooting chart is to be prepared, then I have given the method how you can prepare it, and by your own mind application you think over it, type of fault, what may be possible fault will be there in that particular equipment, then what will be the remedy for that, and for that remedial activities what type of accessories or spare parts required. So these 3 things you can easily write by your own approach, because the basic of all the equipments you have studied in your previous course. In previous course you have given all the instruction regarding switch gears in power system and all the different type of equipment. In case of the power system, we have also discussed about the transformer as well as the DC motors as well as the other type of induction motors. So we have to go through all the basic concept of all these particular machines, and according to that you have to write down for all these type of remedies and type of fault occur, and according to that you will be prepare the troubleshooting chart, and then the repair can be possible. So in this topic, these are the points. Once again I read out it. Heading of the topic is troubleshooting, normal performance of equipment. Normal performance of equipment, it means that according to specification or design, if operation of the equipment is proper, then it is no problem for any type of troubleshooting action. Then in the normal performance, we have to just observe the parameters of the equipment, and if they are in the proper range, so you need not to worry about anything. Second, if the troubleshooting is there, so trouble is there, not shooting is means you have to repair it. So whenever trouble is there, so you go for the internal and external inspection. So first you go for the external inspection, in which that depends on the type of particular equipment, what type of external inspection you have to carry out. And then if external inspection you do not found any particular type of fault or any type of any mistake in that, then you go for the internal inspection. And internal inspection, it is something in detail you have to go for the measurement of insulation resistance, continuity of the wire, continuity of the circuit. These all points will be there because these are the internal part. And if you find some difficulty in that, you write that point in the troubleshooting chart, and then you find out its remedial aspect, that what type of remedies is required, and for that which type of equipment or accessories required or spare parts required, you can find out or write down in the troubleshooting chart. So in this way, this external and internal inspection will help you for preparing this troubleshooting chart. After that, this accessories for troubleshooting, it is, as I have told you, whatever type of spare parts is there, whatever type of accessories are there for maintenance of that equipment, for testing of that equipment, this all will coming under the accessories required for troubleshooting. So first we require the testing equipment. In testing equipment, whatever type of equipment required, you go for that insulation testing, then general testing for mechanical fixtures, and general testing for the IR values. So this is done by you with the help of these accessories, that is called testing accessories. And after that, if the fault is there, then what type of accessories you require in terms of spare parts, that you will go for the listing out the spare parts, and according to spare parts you have to list out that, and whatever type of spare parts required for rectification of that fault, you can do the purchase of those particular spare parts from the market, or if it is not available in the market, then you can order to the manufacturer. Many times it is the monopoly of the manufacturer that the spare parts are not available in the market for a particular type of equipment manufactured by a particular type of manufacturer. So naturally, whenever the problem comes, then you have to go for purchase of the spare parts from the manufacturer only, because it is available with the manufacturer only. So company will supply you the spare parts, and then you have to go for repair. And sometime, as I have told you, if it is not in the scope of your own for repair work, then you have to ask for the service engineer of the company. So company service engineer will come and he will find out the fault and rectify it. So this is a simple way. Nowadays many equipment in the field which are used either in switchgear protection or in the power transformer, distribution transformer or related circuit equipments, which is all given or manufacturer by standard manufacturers, and all peoples are nowadays providing the troubleshooting chart along with their equipment. And also they give the list of spare parts available with the company. So whenever you find any type of fault for which you find out which type of spare parts will be required, so you directly ask to the manufacturer of the equipment, and if possible, then their engineers also called on the site, so for repair work can be done by those people. Our work is only that go for external inspection and internal inspection and try to find out the type of trouble in the equipment. If we find out these internal or external trouble in the equipment, then further step is the troubleshooting. and for that you have to consult the chart, and that chart will be either prepared by yourself or it is provided by the manufacturer. So in both the case the possibility is there. So this is all about this particular topic number 6, troubleshooting. Whatever I have given, according to that you have understand the points, and you try to prepare the troubleshooting chart of yourself by your own approach, because you are now sufficient knowledge about the machines, switch gears and all type of equipments, because you have already studied all these in the previous courses. In your power system operation and protection machine is there, in this you have done all this type of equipment. So now only for maintenance point of view, what type of action you have to take, that is the point, and that will be you can easily search by internal and external inspection of the machine, particular type of machine, by its testing, by its approach of any type of findings of the fault with the help of the finding equipments. So when you all list out all these type of faults, external or internal, then you write for the remedies of that, and for remedies what type of accessories or spare parts required, you find out the list of that, and according to that you will solve the problem. So this is all for the topic number 7. So I hope that you will prepare the troubleshooting chart for transformer, at least induction motor, for DC motors, for distribution transformer, for power transformer. So it is not necessary to go in the lengthy way of the preparation for the troubleshooting chart. Only 5 to 6 points if you can write for each troubleshooting chart, then it is more than sufficient. Otherwise for very minor things, people will write the troubleshooting chart, so item become 10, 15, so it is quite lengthy. Troubleshooting chart will be there. So you should prepare the troubleshooting chart by considering maximum 5 to 10 points only. 5 to 10 points if you mention for external inspection or internal inspection, and as by your observation, then you can this chart will be sufficient to operate in that way. So this is all for today. This complete your topic number 7, troubleshooting, and whatever information I want to give, I have given all the information. Now it is only your homework or assignment that you prepare the troubleshooting chart at least for इंडक्शन मोटर एंड ट्रांसफार्मर, 2 के लिए तो आप बना लीजिए, और इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम आए तो आप पूछ सकते हैं. जैसे मशीन आपने पढ़ी है, इसमें ट्रांसफार्मर पढ़े हैं आपने और इंडक्शन मोटर्स भी पढ़ी हैं, तो तुमको ये पर्टिकुलरली मालूम है कि किस टाइप ऑफ के फॉल्ट इसमें आ सकते हैं और उसकी क्या रिमेडी हो सकती है. तो इतना नॉलेज तो आपको अभी तक मिल चुका है जिससे आप अपने ट्रबल शूटिंग चार्ट बना सकते हैं. इज इट. और अदरवाइज फिर जो मैन्युफैक्चरर मैनुअल्स होते हैं उनमें ट्रबल शूटिंग चार्ट दिए रहते हैं, तो अगर फील्ड में आपको जब वर्क करेंगे आप, तो नॉर्मली आपको ये चीज़ अवेलेबल रहेगी मशीन के साथ ही, ट्रबल शूटिंग चार्ट. सो फील्ड में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, वहाँ पे आपको हर चीज़ अवेलेबल रहेगी. लेकिन सो फार एज थेरेटिकल स्टडीज कंसर्न इन द कॉलेज लेवल, it is only possible that you can prepare with the help of your previous knowledge. So thank you for today. It's all.